Commander Riker has two massive what-if scenarios that would have totally changed Star Trek. The Next Generation. Star Trek. The Next Generation could have been a completely different show if two massive Commander William Riker, Jonathan Frakes storylines had played out. As the first officer of the USS Enterprise D, Commander Riker served as Captain Jean-Luc Picard's Patrick Stewart right-hand man. Riker was known as one of the best officers in Starfleet and was offered numerous chances to command his own ship throughout TNG's run. Riker turned these offers down to remain aboard the Enterprise, and he found a family among the ship's crew. Many episodes of Star Trek, The Next Generation, focused on Commander Riker, and he played a major role in one of the show's best two-parters, The Best of Both Worlds. When the first half of this two-parter ended, Captain Picard had been assimilated by the Borg, raising the question of whether he would make it back to the Enterprise. TNG would have been a much different show if Riker had taken over as captain. Later, in TNG Season 6, Riker discovers he has a transporter clone who goes by Thomas Riker, and this clone could have replaced the original Riker aboard the Enterprise. What if Commander Riker replaced Captain Picard in Star Trek? The Next Generation Season 4. Star Trek. The Next Generation Season 3 came to a close with one of the best television cliffhangers of all time in The Best of Both Worlds. Part I. Captain Picard had been assimilated by the Borg, and Commander Riker gave the order for the Enterprise to fire on the Borg ship just before the screen cut to black. As Star Trek's first true cliffhanger, this episode began the pattern of season-ending cliffhangers that continued throughout TNG, Star Trek, Deep Space Nine, and Star Trek, Voyager, and established several storylines that continue to play a role in modern Trek. When TNG's writers penned The Best of Both Worlds, Part I, even they were not sure how the two-parter would wrap up. While today's viewers know that Riker and his crew saved Picard in the Season 4 premiere, this was not the case when the episode first aired. At the time, there was speculation that Patrick Stewart would not be returning to TNG. If Picard had been killed on the Borg cube, Riker would have taken over as captain of the Enterprise, likely with LT. Commander Elizabeth Shelby Elizabeth Dennehy as his first officer. It's difficult to imagine what Star Trek, The Next Generation, would have become with Captain Riker in command of the USS Enterprise D rather than Picard. Many episodes would have been vastly different without Patrick Stewart and Picard, assuming they even happened at all. The Inner Light, for example, would not have worked nearly as well with any other character. Picard's departure from TNG would have forced the show to focus more on other characters, perhaps leading to a larger role for Shelby or one of the other series regulars. Commander William Riker is a pillar of Star Trek, The Next Generation, but there are two major what-if moments in his arc that could have changed the entire course of the show and the broader Star Trek universe. 1. What if Riker had accepted command of the USS Ares? In the Season 2 episode, The Icarus Factor, Riker is offered his own command, captain of the USS Ares. He turns it down to remain on the Enterprise D. But what if he had said yes? If Riker had left, The Next Generation would have faced a massive shift. The dynamic between Riker and Picard, a central relationship, would have evaporated. Riker often acted as the more emotionally intuitive foil to Picard's stoic demeanor, and his loyalty helped cement the strong, stable leadership of the Enterprise. Without him, the show may have leaned too heavily on Picard's formality, missing the youthful vigor and charisma Riker brought. A replacement first officer might not have gelled with the crew, potentially altering character arcs for Data, Worf, and Troy. Plus, in universe, a younger Riker commanding his own ship could have accelerated his rise in Starfleet, maybe even positioning him for Admiralty long before the Titan years. 2. What if Riker had let Picard die in The Best of Both Worlds? In one of TNG's most famous episodes, The Best of Both Worlds, Picard is assimilated by the Borg and becomes Locutus. Starfleet nearly orders Riker to kill him. He hesitates, finds another way, and rescues Picard. But what if Riker had followed through and destroyed the Borg cube, killing Picard? It would have devastated morale and left Riker as captain by default. While he likely would have grown into the role, TNG would have lost its philosophical heart. Picard's deep moral compass and diplomatic finesse were irreplaceable. The show could have taken a darker turn, with Riker dealing with the trauma of killing his mentor and possibly losing the trust of his crew. Both scenarios would have made for bold,